Shaquille O'Neal isn't just a basketball legend, he's a brand genius. When Papa John's reputation hit rock bottom, most people thought the company was done for. It had lost customer trust, faced public backlash, and was rapidly falling behind its competitors. But then came Shaq. He didn't just endorse the pizza, he became part of the solution. From boardroom decisions to cheesy commercials, Shaq did things differently. And those moves turned Papa John's around in a way that no one saw coming. Here's how he pulled it off. 10. He took a real ownership role. Unlike many celebrity endorsements, Shaq actually bought into the business, literally. In 2019, Shaq joined Papa John's as both a board member and a franchise owner. He became the first African-American to sit on the company's board. He also invested in 9 Papa John's locations in the Atlanta area. This wasn't just about lending his image to a campaign. He had financial skin in the game. His involvement sent a strong message to both customers and investors. This wasn't just a marketing stunt. Shaq believed in the future of the company and was willing to bet on it. His role added authenticity to the brand's new direction and gave people a reason to take a second look. 9. He rebuilt the brand's image. After a major PR crisis, Papa John's was in trouble in 2018. The company's founder, John Schnatter, had resigned as CEO after a series of controversies, including racially insensitive comments. Public opinion turned sharply against the brand. Sales fell, the stock price dropped by over 13% in a single day, and franchisees began to struggle. The company needed a new face, someone who could shift the conversation. Shaq was the perfect choice. As a globally respected figure, known for his humor, charisma, and positive energy, he became the new face of Papa John's. And more importantly, he helped erase the negative image left behind by the founder without pretending it never happened. He acknowledged the need for change and stood for it. 8. He helped diversify the company's leadership. One of Shaq's biggest moves was pushing for more diversity at the top. He has long been vocal about representation in corporate leadership, and he didn't stay silent once he joined the Papa John's board. Under his influence, the company made real efforts to increase diversity, not just in ads or employee hiring, but within its corporate leadership structure. By 2021, more than 30% of Papa John's corporate leadership team identified as people of color, and nearly 40% were women. This shift wasn't just good optics. It helped bring fresh ideas, more inclusive decision-making, and a broader customer appeal. 7. He used his business experience to guide change. Shaq isn't just a basketball player turned celebrity. He's also an experienced businessman. Over the years, he has invested in various companies, including Five Guys, Krispy Kreme, and Auntie Anne's. He owns more than 150 car washes and dozens of fitness centers. So when he joined Papa John's, he brought more than star power. He brought real-world experience. He knew what it meant to operate franchises, connect with customers, and manage teams. Shaq gave input on marketing, menu strategy, and public relations. His ideas weren't based on guesswork. They came from experience, and that made a big difference. 6. He helped launch the Shaq-a-Roni Pizza with Purpose. In 2020, Shaq teamed up with Papa John's to launch the Shaq-a-Roni Pizza, a larger-than-usual pie with extra cheese and extra pepperoni. But this wasn't just about creating a product with his name on it. The campaign was tied to a good cause. For every Shaq-a-Roni sold, Papa John's donated $1 to the Papa John's Foundation for Building Community, which supports initiatives focused on youth leadership and food insecurity. In just a few months, the campaign raised over $3 million. That effort showed customers that Papa John's was not only rebranding for profit, but also using its platform to give back, something that aligned with Shaq's own philanthropic values. 5. He used his huge platform to reach new audiences. Shaq has over 30 million social media followers across platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. He's a regular on TV, he DJs, he acts, and he's on almost every big sports talk show. So when he talks, people listen. That gave Papa John's an enormous boost in visibility, especially with younger and more diverse audiences. Shaq used his platform to promote deals, share behind-the-scenes videos, and post funny skits, all while tying it back to the brand. It was natural and effective. People weren't just seeing Papa John's ads. They were seeing Shaq having fun with pizza. That energy helped shift public perception quickly. 4. He prioritized community engagement. Shaq has always been big on giving back to the community, and he brought that mindset to Papa John's. He made it clear that the brand had to show up for the communities it served, not just sell pizza. Under his influence, Papa John's increased its support for local programs and nonprofits. The company launched new community grants and focused more on corporate responsibility. They also began offering better support to franchisees, especially those from underserved backgrounds. This wasn't just a rebranding at the surface level, it was a deeper commitment to change, and customers noticed. 3. He humanized the brand. One of Shaq's strongest qualities is his relatability. He doesn't act like a polished executive or untouchable celebrity. He jokes with fans, makes fun of himself, and shows up in ways that feel real. That's exactly what Papa John's needed after going through a corporate crisis. The brand had started to feel cold and disconnected. Shaq brought the warmth back. Whether it was goofing off in commercials or chatting with workers in a local store, he reminded people that Papa John's was run by people who cared. This emotional connection is something most brands struggle to build, but Shaq made it feel natural. 2. He brought fresh, inclusive marketing. Before Shaq, Papa John's marketing had become repetitive and uninspiring. After joining, he helped overhaul the tone and style of their messaging. Instead of serious, sales-focused ads, the new campaigns felt fun, inclusive, and community-driven. There was more humor, more diversity, and more energy. The Shaq-a-Roni campaign, for example, didn't just highlight a product, it told a story about giving back. This kind of messaging resonated with today's consumers, who care about what brands stand for. Under Shaq's influence, Papa John's began to reflect a culture that people actually wanted to be part of. 1. He helped turn around the business numbers. All of Shaq's influence wasn't just feel-good branding, it showed up in the numbers too. After a major sales decline in 2018, Papa John's saw a clear recovery following Shaq's arrival. In 2020, during the pandemic, same-store sales in North America grew by over 20%. That was one of the highest growth rates in the company's history. Franchise interest also increased, and the brand began expanding again globally. The Shaq-a-Roni campaign alone sold over 3 million pizzas in its first run. And stock prices, which had dropped to around $42 in mid-2018, climbed back to over $90 by 2021. Investors regained confidence. Customers came back. Shaq didn't just save face, he helped save the business. Shaq didn't follow the typical celebrity playbook. He joined Papa John's not just as a face, but as a partner with real influence. He brought leadership, humor, purpose, and strategy to a brand that was struggling. And through a mix of community focus, smart marketing, and genuine involvement, he helped turn things around. Shaq showed the power of authenticity in business. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. More surprising success stories are on the way. See you next time.